for that, especially with someone like Medeiros, who is so good upside down.
Second and final heat underway, 13 minutes, 58.31 seconds. From the Canadians from the East is the top time. We start with the 20 wall walks. And now the Panchiks are fielding a team of two. This is RX Smart Gear. I think it's Scott and Spencer are out there by themselves.
Unfortunately, due to injuries, a couple of their athletes, both Luke Parker and Nick Matthew, aren't able to continue in the competition. In celebration of fitness and fun and just the overall environment here at Tier Wadapalooza as a fitness festival, they wanted to let two of the Panchik brothers go out there and throw down side by side. And honestly, that's a pretty darn good pick. If you remember, Scott Panchik's first career win at the CrossFit Games came in 2021 on the wall walk event. He's pretty darn good upside down.
Scott and Spencer Panchik. Down a man, but still out here throwing down, and always a pleasure to watch Scott Panchik, one of the best in the sport to ever do it. Throw down. The Hombres, team that comes in fourth place overall with 172 points, just 20 points out of the lead. They are towards the front here. Noah Olson, Chandler Smith, and Tola Maracano. As Maracano is now on the wall walks, Chandler Smith holding the handstand, and Noah Olson taking off his shirt.
As is tradition, Sean.
The Tres Leches in lane 9. They're in 8th place overall, but the trio of Vellner, Mayer, and Bjorn Carl Gudmundsson, they can do some damage here.
I think this is a sneaky pick right here for the event win, because BKG is good at everything, but he's a technician with his movement. Efficiency upside down, especially with strict handstand push-ups, is great. Pat Vellner, great upside down, big gymnastics background. Travis Mayer knows how to go just full bore when you need him, particularly in the team competition.
It's Team Pixel, Roman Krenikov closest to the camera, taking a break as Saxon Panchik is on the handstand hold, and Jorge Fernandez is now on the handstand push-ups. 40 strict handstand push-ups that they need to complete here. After this, it's the 60 handstand push-ups, so you can kip those. The weather was a factor here earlier, caused a bit of a delay. Brian Friend has more on that.
Yeah, Sean, got a chance to talk to several of the athletes in Heat 1 as they were leaving the floor. They said for most part they had to be a lot more cautious on the handstand push-up work, and for almost all the teams they had to reduce the number of sets on the hang cleans as opposed to the original plan.
Keep an eye on that as we move through this event and get to those barbell movements. Spencer and Scott Panchik continuing to rotate on the handstand push-ups. They're hanging with the big guys here, with the teams of 3.
The Hombres are already to their kipping handstand push-ups. One of the first few teams to get there. Noah Olson just blasted a big chunk of strict handstand push-ups.
Olson back to the wall. Maracano holding the handstand here. Left side of your screen, that's the Hombres. Team Pixel now sitting in second place. Tres Leches is in the top 3 as well.
They got a good push from BKG on that last set of handstand push-ups.
The Hombres are just about done with this portion of the event. They look to be the first team to advance to the jump rope, and they are. 240 single double unders. Noah Olson, this is kind of a home field advantage for Noah, an event where he really kind of made a name for himself at Tier Wadapalooza. Very comfortable competing here. There's Team Pixel trying to get through their final handstand push-ups. Chandler Smith and Tola Maracano still the only 2 men on their synchro double unders. Tres Leches is just about done as well. We'll be keeping an eye on them.
But a little bit of missteps from Hombres. A couple different slip-ups on the double unders in their first set could open the door for one of these other teams. I mean, that's 3 trips already in their first 30 reps on the double unders.
In the white shirts, that's Pat Vellner and Travis Mayer. They are on their synchro double unders. To the left of Moroccanio and Noah Olson from Hombre Hombres. 13:58 is the time to beat for Canadians from the East. And now the Pixel squad, Roman Krenikoff and Saxon Panchik onto the synchro double unders. Team Gowon next to them, Willie George and Justin Medeiros on the synchro double unders. Now these are the teams that you wanted to see duke it out, and here they are, middle of the floor, going head to head.
We're used to seeing a lot of these athletes as individuals in the final heat at the CrossFit Games. And that's what's great about Tier Wodapalooza. We get to see them all paired up, going head to head in this really cool teams of 3 format.
Willie George and Justin Medeiros on the left side. Jake Crouch is going to swap in for George. Travis Mayer and Pat Vellner in the middle in the white shirts. And now Team Tier between Olson and Smith and Mayer and Vellner. They're on to the 240 synchro double unders. Hombre Hombres, Noah Olson and Chandler Smith continuing to stay in front. Gowon's closing the gap, though.
They have really pushed the pace here, ripping off some big sets. They've made up almost 60 or 70 reps on these double unders so far.
Hombre Hombres continue to lead. How about the Panchik brothers, Spencer and Scott?
Gowon just had a little misstep. Justin Medeiros walked across the floor to go set his jump rope down, but that meant his team couldn't compile reps while he was doing it because he had to be standing behind the back line, costing them a few reps.
Medeiros is there on the far left side of your screen, being covered up by Pat Vellner, but that's where the athletes need to rest. And now the Hombre Hombres are onto the barbell. 60 synchro deadlifts. The Hombre Hombres, who coming in 4th place overall. They're only 4 points back of Team Tier for 3rd and only 20 points back of Gowon and Pixel for the overall lead.
No surprise they've got Chandler Smith out there on the front barbell, the heaviest for the deadlift. If you remember, Chandler breaking the 600-pound barrier at the Rogue Invitational this past season.
Well, and it was deadlifts where we really first noticed him back in the old regional days.
Back when there was the 405 deadlift for reps. I believe it was the 2016 regional when he was trying to chase down Ben Smith and company.
Made that thing look like a Tinker toy. Now Team Gowon, they're onto the synchro deadlifts. Justin Medeiros, Jay Crouch, and Willie George. Hombre Hombres, Team Gowon and Team Pixel, your top 3 right now. There's Team Pixel with Saxon Panchik in front, Jorge Fernandez in the middle, and Roman Krenikoff in the back. Hombre Hombres have passed the halfway point on the left side of your screen on their way to 60 reps before they will transition into the hang cleans. And Chandler Smith has stayed on that front barbell the entire time here. 135, 155, 165 is the weight on the barbell.
No surprises out front the entire time. If you really think about it, it's what, 30% of his 1 rep max?
Do this all day.
If that.
Team Pixel on the right side making the transition. Roman Krenikoff moves up to the 165-pound barbell. Those True Coach Train Cult that you just saw. They sit in 4th place right now in the heat. And now Spencer and Scott, the Panchik brothers, onto the barbells. That's True Coach Train Cult in lane 15. Brian Friend has more on them.
Yeah, it's a virtual who's who of CrossFit in the male division out here, but the top online qualifiers out of Europe, Bartek Lipka, Miko Liliorg, and Kevin Jours are hanging tough in a very demanding workout. It's a cool thing about Wodapalooza. Invited athletes and online qualifiers get to go toe for toe.
True Coach Train called. They are hanging tough here. Top 4 right now in the heat. 26th place overall coming into this event is True Coach Train called. These are your top 2 still in the heat. Hombres on the left side onto the hang cleans. Chandler Smith still just mauling that 165-pound barbell. Team Pixel about 10 reps back ahead of them.
And it's worth mentioning that although these are your leaders, the other 2 Panchik brothers got to the barbell, assuming they did the same amount of reps, ahead of the Strapping Up lads, one of your top 5 teams so far.
Not too shabby.
Just your friendly reminder, the Panchik family is fitter than you.
All the teams on the final portion of this event. Again, the time to beat, 13:58 from the Canadians from the East. I don't know how much longer that's going to last. And in lane 6, just so we know, they're making the Panchiks do the 2 heaviest barbells, 155 and 165.
Yeah, they've probably seen their exploits in the past. They saw Panchik Scott Panchik as one of the final 2 athletes lifting in the 2019 clean lifting event. And they're like, yeah, you know what? 135 isn't going to be enough for you.
Hombres continue to lead. Team Pixel is starting to cut into that a little bit. The Team GoWatt still sits in 3rd place here. Hombres back to work, trying to regain some of the ground that they just surrendered to Pixel. Pilla Morocano now on the 165-pound barbell. There's Trace Leches in the white shirts. Hombres right into the front squats. 20 reps here. And now a break for the Hombres as Team Pixel is almost done with their hang cleans. 13:58 the time to beat here.
And a good sign for the Hombres. They were just 4 points behind Team Tier for the 3rd spot overall, and Tier just got to their hang cleans, so they can hold on. They're going to make up some serious points and climb up the leaderboard.
Once again, the synchronization in this movement occurs at the top. Hombres inside 5 reps to go here. Looking to pick up their first event win of the competition, and they will do it. 12:55.02, beating Canadians from the East time.